The next question I wanted to ask is how does a high school program, dance program, differ from the library program that you oversee and also a studio program? Because you've also taught in studio situations as well, dance studios. So you've taught in all three different genres. Or
As much difference as someone might find with those different, institutions, they're very similar. Because at the end of the day, the kids are all wanting the same thing. They come with the same expectation. They want to get better. They want to dance. They want to improve. And so, um, beyond the obvious structural differences, one is a school where you're studying, for 8 hours a day, and then one might be a community program that you only come to on a Saturday. At least my expectations as a teacher remain the same. I don't care if I see you once a week or 5 times a week. My expectation of your progress is all the same. I don't lessen the expectation. I think you would have to split yourself into so many parts to be able to do that. You generally, as people and teachers, we have one expectation, and it's excellence. We want our students to, achieve the things that we've, put on their plate. Um, but if I can, answer the question, um, the amount of time, that is afforded between at a high school program like LVA, at a program like the Art Center. um, LVA gets a high concentration of time. We're working with those students every single day, so of course their development is very rapid. In one year they grow tremendously because they're getting that conservatory training every day. And a program like the Art Center, those students who, although we have the same expectation, we want them to, be at a certain level. They're just naturally not getting the same amount of time. So, you know, um, the approach, I think, at the Art Center, sometimes I have to be a little more strict, and really push because of the lesser amount of time than I would at LVA. But there are so many parallels, in that program and studios and at LVA, um,
Well,
just because of what it is that we're doing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go to what pedagogical elements or methods of teaching do you think work best for each group? Do you think that, and you may have already answered this, Avery, but do you think that you teach differently to a younger group than to the older group, or do you feel like you're kind of coming in at the same with the same expectation and the same type of teaching methods? And
I, to be so honest, I'm I'm pretty much the same across the board.
okay,
Of course, I'm not ignorant to a person's level. If they're younger or a freshman student in comparison to a senior, in our program at the school, um, I my understanding and ability to be able to um,
break
like
down the movement.
break down the movement, but it's really beyond that. I think I don't know if age is always the divide. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, as I'm just thinking, sometimes you can have a freshman student who is more engaged than a senior. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't know if age always is the deciding factor on on a student's ability. I know for a fact it's not actually because we do have students that technically are more advanced than some of our senior students. So I think my approach is always across the board because I just don't want to waver um, my expectation.
Excellent.
I think that people have to know that whether you're the youngest person in the room or the oldest person in the room, that the expectation is still high,
Okay.
but of course, as I mentioned, that doesn't mean that I'm not able to make accommodations,
Right. Right.
if they're necessary.
Cool. Thank you. And our last question today is, what do you value most in a teacher? So if you were hiring, what would you be looking for? Or when you think about those that you've come from,
Mhm.
crossover.
One thing that um, I cherish about many of my teachers is their transparency. They were never shy about, uh, telling us their challenges, and also encouraging us with their victories. So I went through this, but I was able to achieve that. Being relatable.
Mhm.
I think, especially as any arts teacher, we can't be so about what's in the textbook because you can't write art experience down. You just can't. You can or what a person should feel. Your experience is that's individual, that's personal to you, but the feeling of art, you can't put that in a book. You just can't. um and so anybody that I think is able to come in and make a difference, which all my teachers had the ability, gift to do that, to really make a difference um, in my life. I think that is an extreme value, and really would make a deciding factor if I was hiring someone. Transparency.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your insights.
Oh, my pleasure.
Great to talk to you. Take
You
care.
too. Thank you.